Hey everyone, this is Vicki from Messy Table Studio. I filmed a video the other day and then have not edited it, so I'm going to film another video. I may not edit. I've been a little distracted. I've been crocheting. I promised you I wouldn't talk about knitted socks, and I'm not going to, but I've been crocheting and it has gone pretty well, considering I am not an avid crocheter. I have had a few bumps in the road, but I've managed to solve most of them. So today's project is something that's a blast from the past, and I'm going to bring them out. It's 3 little books. I saw a video that somebody made books like this eons ago. It's been a few years. I think it was during COVID, to be honest. And I know there's a shadow here. There we go. I love these things. Let me get it up closer so you can see it, because it's not that big. It's an actual book where you had to sew together the text block. The pages, signatures put together are called a text block. And it's coffee dyed paper. But you don't put anything on the coffee dyed paper. All you do is print off something else for the part that you're actually going to see, because this is not going, it's so heavily, it's got a lot of medium on it to keep it from turning up, from it opening. That's the whole point. You dip it in, and then you arrange the pages to make them look like they're old and they've been flipped around. So there's the large one. And I thought, well, I want to see how small I can go. And here's the medium. This is like Goldilocks and her 3 books. This is material that I made in fodder school and stamped. I didn't really care what this is paper. I didn't really care what the bottom of the book was. Look. Because you're never going to see it. So there's this. And then I did the whole, whoops, that's upside down. I did the whole thing with this one that I did to the first one. Come on, focus, you silly thing. Same exact thing, and I printed off the same exact old pages. Oops. And then here's the baby. Same type thing. Just made it smaller. I kept getting smaller and smaller. When I got down to this one, I thought maybe I should stop, because when you arrange things visually, from being a flower, arranging flowers in a flower shop for a while, is that things are much more appealing to the eye in odd numbers. So I did the 3 little bears. So I did 1, 2, and 3. There you go. So these have been sitting on my desk. They've been moved and shuffled around for a couple years now, and I've decided I've had enough. So a couple weeks ago, my husband and I went to IKEA, and I found this shadow box and decided that this was the time to get these in some kind of a frame. And we're going to be done with shuffling these things on my desk so I can put new things to shuffle on the desk. There's that. I think this was like $6 or $7, and yes, I could have gone to the thrift store and done it, but no, I've never found shadow boxes there. And I don't want to make one. I'm too lazy. I don't want to do it. So here's this. Now you have to peel up the metal pieces that are holding everything in place. Plus it's got a hanger on there. You can do it vertically, horizontally, long, short-wise. It doesn't matter. Let's see if I can get this out. Yep, here we go. There's that. And I don't even have to take that sticker off. It can stay. I don't really care. And then here is your instructions. There's a mat in here, which I think, when I laid these on here, I left the mat in there when I laid them down visually. 1, 2, 3. Those are not going to fit in there. So I'm going to take the mat out. All right. But that's nice they provided one. So this is plastic. Look at that, non-glare plastic. And there's a strip, there's film on both sides of it, so you can peel it off. I'm not going to do that yet. The inside has This is plastic. It's the insert. Now, if I, see, the thing is, I wonder if I can do this without the, it's still not going to look right. I'm going to push this down on the table for a second. These just don't fit. It would really crowd it out. And I would like my books to have a little more room, so I'm not going to use the mat, but I am going to save it. You know, it's like a good box. You just can't let go of it. Here's the form. I'm going to put that in there because this is how it keeps it from touching. It sets it back in here. Although, do I really want to do that? No. Let's put this in here. Then let's put this in here. There we go. So this sits up front. That's not going to work either. If I do it this, let's see. I guess I better do it the way it says to. This keeps it off of the front. Does it go this way? Yeah. And then this way. Maybe not. There. Quit screwing around with stuff. There we go. So it does a recess the width of the plastic insert. And then I could do this, I hope. Will that lay flat down on there? No, it will not. Okay, so I'm going to have to come up with another way to do this. I thought this was going to work. There we go. Ta-da. All right, so that's, in theory, what's going to happen. Okay, so at least we solved this problem. So I have to do the plexiglass first, then the white insert. So let me just not touch this so I don't screw it up. So I want an interesting background. I'm going to take this off. I decided I will. I want an interesting background for my paper, which will be, for my books, which will be more paper. And I think one way I will do that is to pick a paper that I like. I don't want anything extremely busy, and brown is so boring. Plus we have the outside brown of the frame. So I think I'm going to pick, whoops, that's upside down. I think I'm going to pick something that has a pattern, but it's muted in the background. Yeah, so it fades into the background, but yet it features the books and doesn't distract from the books. So let me go rummage through my scraps. All right, so while I was looking for stuff, I thought maybe not scraps. We'll see how this goes. So I found 2 stamps that I have up on my wall. I really like this one. Is this one I bought? Or yep, this is one I bought. It's very small newsprint. Oh, doesn't matter what I do, it's going to have the glare. Anyway, you get the message. So that would not really detract from the books, because it's very small, and there won't be a lot of stuff on the outside, but I want it just a little bit. So there's that one. Do you think it takes away from it? Yeah, we'll see. All right, so then I have this one, which is one that I bought, which is an old world map stamp. I've had this for a long time. So I thought maybe, and it's going to have to be this way because it's too wide this way. It's not going to work this way. I have to stamp it so that it goes this way, and it's still not going to be quite long enough, but we'll see how we do. All right, so it would be like this, this, and this. Do you think that takes away from the books? I think it's a little more busy than this one is. I thought about covering it in material, but I don't want to use my Seth Apter material. on this project. I just love that material and I want it for something different. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to audition these, excuse me, by using my coffee dyed paper in here. Now this is deli paper. I put them in categories when I put them in here so I can figure out what's what. I love these giant paper clips. These are ones with designs with coffee paper that I did a few years ago. Of course, it was during COVID. What can I say? I was bored. Many of us were. And so I played around with that stuff. Oh, yellow. I was looking for yellow stuff the other day. Ooh, let me take that out of there. This is coffee dyed yellow. All right, so there's this. Well, that should go in here. Why is it not connected? Okay, let me put this with the others. So I don't. This was a doily, paper doily that I did with coffee. Okay, let me put this back on here like this. And these are just miscellaneous pieces of paper that had some color that was mixed in with coffee. Again, here's more of these. Oh my goodness, look, I had tons of these. This is miscellaneous stuff, and you don't belong there. Well, I thought I had these very well organized. No. You may go in here, sir. There we go. This is just random paper. I hope there's no more of those lovely designs. This is grid paper and miscellaneous others. Oh, look. More of the doilies. Another doily. Well, son of a gun. Why did I do it this way? I'm sorry. Squirrel. Look, there's more. And then there's this one. Well, phooey. Look at that. That one turned out really good. Are these like that too? Yes, they are. Well, I'll be. There's another one. I evidently like this doily. There's another one. Oh, I know what this one is. You cut the rim off of a paper plate and then do it this way. This one did not go as well as expected, but still it is coffee dyed pattern paper with kind of the same theme as the doilies, only it was a paper plate from Dollar Tree that I cut the edges off of. All right, and these guys, I'm just gonna leave these random. These are random papers. This is print. I don't know why this bag's in here. I think when I was rearranging my room, I just threw everything that was coffee dyed into this container because I did everything in these Walmart containers here because I really like them. I can see through them sort of, and they're small enough they will fit in my new bookshelves. All right, so this is random paper. Ooh, what's this one? Oh, that is not deli paper. Is that, what is this? I don't know what it is, but it's lovely crunchy paper. And see, the rest of this is just coffee dye. Oh, there's another one. Oh, these are done with colors with the plate. This one came out a little bit better than the coffee one. This is a combination of coffee and dye. And this one did not go well, but I'm persistent. I still made more mistakes on the next one, and then it just went downhill from there. You just need to know when to quit. Evidently, I do not have that gear in my brain. So, anyway, these are just random coffee papers. Book stuff. And here's a white piece. I think this must have been a sort of mop-up. I love all these patterns. Anyway, so the rest of this is just miscellaneous nonsense, just regular coffee dyed paper, not anything to get excited about. Okay, so there's that. Let me put all this back in here. Anyway, so I think I want to stamp coffee dyed paper. I'm going to try it on the small size deli snack paper. And then I'll get some of this computer paper. Try that. And I'm going to stamp those and see. Oh, Oh, nice. I just threw everything on the floor. Yep. All right, so I ordered some archival black. Everybody raves about this stuff. So I got me some. Let me ink this. I have a feeling I will have to blot it off. Did it already? I will have to blot some of it off. Oh, it's soaking in. Oh, that didn't take long, did it? I had just inked this a couple weeks ago when I got it. Because it wasn't, look at that, it wasn't working well. Oh, the edges don't soak in quite as quickly as the middle. Let's give the middle a little more love. It's all soaked in. That is just crazy. All right, so let me try this paper here. I think this has been folded. You know, it's those things you pull out of the little thingy at the, for donuts at the grocery store. I think I can rip this in half and be safe. So let me, for those of you who don't like crunchy paper, I'm so sorry. Let me get a metal ruler and rip this in half. That's that. I'll do one with one stamp and one with the other. Yeah, okay, so I don't want to go crazy with the ink. If it's kind of blotchy, I'm not upset with that. I just want it to get kind of covered. All right, so there's that. I'll put this back on because I got the ceiling fan going and it dries out every stinking thing. Okay, so I am going to try this method instead of flopping it over. I have a feeling this is going to be rather dark because I am pressing on the paper. I guess you need to see what I'm doing, right? So this one might be look a little darker than I want it to be, but at least it gives me an idea of what and I will not waste this paper. But it'll give me an idea. Oh, look how light that is. You can barely see it even with the camera. That might be it. Let's see. Where are the books? Here they are. Oh, it does not distract from the books at all. Look at that. Well, I'll be. First try. You can't see it on the camera, but it's... How do I lift this up without... Oh, let me get one of these. I put in my journal so I don't get one page wet from the other. So what do you think? It's book print with books on top of it. And it doesn't take away from the books, which is the main objective to this exercise. All right, so let me do the map. Fine. Okay, so no one will know what it is. Could be like the Indianapolis map for all anybody knows. No one knows what it is. Is it? Okay. It's not tall enough. You think the darker print looks better? I don't know. It's not going to fit in here visually very well. Come on, go back in. Go back in. Let me put this in here and see what happens in the background. Once I take the plastic off of here, you might be able to see through it better, but you barely can see it, even though it's darker. But even so, I kind of like this because it's more obscure. I'm not really sure. I don't want anything, it's a little darker than this is. See the difference in the color? This is darker. So I laid down on it practically with, really mashed it hard. And this is just kind of a blot. I do like this one better because it's got better coverage. I don't have to try to piece together a stamp at the top and the bottom. Like this one, you're going to see, I'll have to figure out how to space it. Where is it? I'll have to figure out how to put it on here so that there's an equal amount of brown showing on all the directions. Make sure it's straight when I push it on here. I'll have to get another board to do it on, but this will give you a general idea. This way and this way. And then there'll be some at the top and the bottom where you'll be able to see the brown. I'm not sure I really want that. This, on the other hand, doesn't matter. It'll be total coverage on it. I do like this, but maybe it should be a little darker. Do you think darker? I wonder if I stamped on the back side if that would ruin it. Let's don't do that. All right, so let's try this on paper. Not quite half. I can't do it that way, but I'll do it. I'll stamp it on there. All right, so let's try this on coffee dyed paper instead of deli paper. Oh, actually, maybe the coffee paper works better. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to do the coffee. Yep, that's going to be it. I'm going to cut a little on the outside because I don't know how much I'm going to need, and I don't want to cut all my options off. Okay, so let's take this. Where's the bottom? I just had it in my hand, for Pete's sake, Vicki. I'm going to take this and look at that. But the bottom will obscure a little bit. Let's do this. Let's try it and see what it looks like. All right, maybe let's do the ends. For Pete's sake, I finally got them all off. Just all right, so I can see this. Let me put this here. Get it out. I'm going to lay it this way because when I put it in around the other side, I want to be able to see them. Let's put them right side up, Vicki. Right side up. And I'm going to need some kind of a board. I don't think this is going to work, but we're going to try. Well, give me a rough idea. They're touching the glass. The big one is touching the glass. So it's like laying right on top of it. So the big one is too bulky. To dust, I'm just saying. There we go. if I put the plexiglass in here, all it's going to do is that's going to mash that down. And I don't want to mash it down. You need to be straightened out. There we go. What do you think? I don't know. I'm looking at it on camera. Let me go this way. You need to, there. I really wanted to put this on top of it so I don't have to take care of it. I think the name of my channel should have been The Lazy Crafter. It sits up too high. And I cannot cut this plastic piece. I could find other spacers that were not quite as thick as the plastic. So let's see how thick this is. Okay, it is about a half an inch, and it needs to be about 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, it's half an inch. I would like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 3/8. I think I would like 3/8 of an inch. So I might have to live with it the way it is. I don't want to fool around with spacers, although, you know, I think they would make the issue a lot better. There's so many things that are like this in a shadow box or under some kind of a glass or some kind of a piece, but this would actually touch it. Does it matter? Probably not. Probably wouldn't matter to anybody, you know. The anal retentive would be screaming at scream, oh my God, no, you're not going to do it like that, are you? What an odd sound. Okay. I think it's the plastic scream for help. Don't do it, lady! Don't do it! Whoa. The struggle is real. Well, I'll be. Okay, that's it. We're done. I am not screwing around with the fates of the artist gods because I am not that stinking lucky of a person. You don't tempt things when they're going well because, you know, it's that one step over the line that's going to cause you to think, oh, I should have stopped. I should have stopped. Ta-da. It's in. Look at that. All right. Where are the light? I can't figure out a way to do the light. Doesn't matter what I do, there's still glare. Where's this light coming from? Oh, that would be the window behind me. Here. No. Yes. No. Let me go close the blinds. It does not matter. The glare is still there. Where is it from the light? All right, let me turn this off. Nope. Let me turn the other one off. Oh, hey. Now we're in the dark. But hey, look, there's still glare. Look at the camera. It's like, I hate you. All right, let me try this one on. Ta-da. Nope, still glare. It doesn't matter what I do, guys. Oh, there we go. Nope. Anyway, it's done. I'm very happy that I can hang it on the wall and just dust this and not anything else. I'm sorry this took so long. Because everything I do takes as long. It doesn't, I can't, where's it? There we go. How's that? I'll go take a picture of it. I'll take a picture of it without the glare. Here, where's my phone? Not anywhere near me. Anyway, wait for the end with some pictures. Thanks for enduring. Bye.